received this new amp yesterday, one of the things I've been most excited to try is pairing up this Matchless HC30 with a Two Rock amp. Now I chose today to pair the Two Rock Classic Reverb Signature with the Matchless, and there's a few reasons for that. So I thought it'd be interesting if maybe in a minute we'll hear each amp by itself and then together again. But really, what's my idea behind this? Well, I have been gradually falling in love with the British sounding amps, from the Rift Ainsley Lister, which is an EL34 powerhouse of an amp, absolutely wonderful Marshall type sounding amp with reverb. Well, I wanted to get more into the Vox side of things, and I've had a Vox before which I enjoy, the AC15, and a few weeks ago, a company called Renegade Guitar Co., who I bought the Macmull Strat that I've got from, got in a second-hand HC30. So I just grabbed it. I had to, otherwise there's a long waiting time, 6 to 9 months, I think it can be. And I got the 2x12, which has 2 different speakers in. Now I'm going to do a full review of this amp, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about how it works and all the controls here. This is more about the sound. So I plugged it in yesterday, and I love that new experience with an amp. I didn't know what on earth was going on, what channel did what. You know, this is second-hand, it didn't come with a manual. It's not the same current design they've got. I reckon this one is probably around 5 years old or something like that. And, not every Matchless amp is the same, so this one doesn't have the cut control, but it does have reverb, and you can switch between a reverb channel and a non-reverb channel. And for a while, the master volume knob wasn't working because I didn't know you had to pull it out. And anyway, I had a lot of fun mucking around and trying to figure out what does a Matchless amp sound like. Now, it sounds like a lot of different things based on how you set it up, what guitar you play and everything. But what struck me the most was how different from the Two Rock amp it was. Now, I knew it'd be different. Obviously, the Two Rock Classic Reverb Signature in this case is a very American voiced amp with luscious big reverb. And the Matchless is a very direct, focused sound with some of that voxy chime, but a hell of a lot of grunt and power and grit. So I thought maybe each of the amps would fill in what the other one doesn't have. And in a stereo setup, I could play one when I need one sound, one when I need another, and then the two together. So I think it's going to be a fascinating matchup. Let's go ahead and hear the two amps separately and then talk a bit more about it. these two amps are so different from each other. The way you experience playing them is so different, and they make you feel and play different things. The Two Rock Classic Reverb, the reverb hangs onto every note, and it's big in the room, and it's like being in a cathedral, you know, it's massive. The Marshall, I'm not using the reverb channel here because the point, I guess, of matching them up is to not use the reverb. In the review videos and other Matchless videos I do, you'll hear the reverb. It's a completely different sort of reverb. It's much more subtle, almost like it's not there, but when you play without it, you realize it's there, or it had been there before. So the Matchless amp has a much more direct feel and attack, and so far, just playing with it for a day or so, rolling back volume on every guitar I've tried, it's the best amp I've ever had for that. If I start off with a really overdriven tone and roll back, it keeps all the tone and the feeling and the brightness and everything. As you go down in volume, it just cleans up and up and up and up. So in that sense, it's incredibly useful. Sometimes with the Two Rock amps, you dial in what you want, but as you roll back on your guitar, you can lose quite a lot of the character and the feel of it. So the Matchless, you know, has that much more focused and direct feeling to it, which is saying something because the Two Rocks already have that in comparison to lots of other amps I've tried. But they just have a completely different feel, you know. The Two Rock, the American sound is, I can't say softer, but it's warmer, and it can bloom, and you know, you feel like it hangs there in the air. The Matchless amp, doesn't feel the same as a Marshall type amp either. It's got something different. In a way, it's both more brittle, but at the same time, the notes bloom beautifully. I need to get more into this with a whole load of clips and demos in a future video. We're going to get to the bottom of what is this Matchless, what does it sound like, and how does it feel to play. This was a quick intro to the channel, really. I enjoy doing these when I get a new amp, just putting it out there, and enjoying playing it. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this this little intro. I'm going to be trying the Matchless out with my Two Rock Bloomfield drive, and also with the Fender Super Reverb. And there'll be videos where we see what pedals sound like between a Matchless and a Two Rock, or a Matchless and the Rift, or a Marshall amp. Let's get to the bottom of what this Matchless, you know, it's got a mythical status, really, the Matchless amp, along with the Two Rock amps. And I did this when I got the Two Rock amps. I really dug in and got to the bottom of it. What does it sound like? So we're going to do that over the next few months. So if you're interested in that, please follow along, and it'd be great if you gave this video a thumbs up. But this is just a quick one. I'm now about to launch in the next day and a half into playing a Klon Centaur for the first time, a real one, a 59 Les Paul, a 57 Gold Top, along with Ainsley Lister and Clive, who is bringing the two guitars, who does watch this channel. So hi Clive, if you're out there. Yeah, we're about to start recording that in the next day. I don't have long with those, and I've been trying to think what guitar amp setup will I use with the guitars. It might be this one. I think it gives me the chance to play the Two Rock, the Matchless, put them together and get lots of different tones out and see what it sounds like. So anyway, this was just a quick one while I'm sitting here waiting for Ainsley to turn up. I suspect he's going to run late. You know, he's a musician after all, and I'm not. Okay, see you next time. Cheers.